Up until a few minutes ago, a local man was holding his own family hostage.
Breaking news next on the KUSI News at 11. SWAT teams had the area surrounded. We're live at the scene of this family tragedy, and we'll show you how it ended.
And look at this wreckage. It's what's left after a head-on collision in Rancho Santa Fe. It's hard to believe the drivers survived.
And you're watching TV right now, but is your TV watching you? A state lawmaker wants it stopped. The KUSI News at 11 starts right now.
This is the KUSI News at 11.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Lauren Finney.
And I'm Ross Becker. Thank you for joining us. A family tragedy is playing itself out publicly tonight involving a man, a gun, and the SWAT team.
There was a standoff in University City near the UTC Mall, but it just ended. It's our breaking news here at 11. Let's go live to the scene right now. Here's KUSI's Sasha Fu with the latest. Sasha?
Yeah, this 3.5-hour standoff in University City ended about half an hour ago. At about 10:30, the man at the center of this domestic violence call surrendered and came out peacefully. Take a look at the scene earlier this evening when police arrived with SWAT team members. At around 7 o'clock tonight, a 15-year-old girl called 911 and told emergency responders that her father was inside the apartment here at the La Jolla Crossroads and that he had a gun and was threatening to shoot. When police came, they were unable to make contact with anyone inside that apartment for about 90 minutes. And then at about 8:20, the 15-year-old girl who had made that initial distress call came out of the building safely, but said that her father was still inside the building. He was armed and was holding her mother and a teenage brother inside. Now, at that point, the SWAT team and emergency negotiators got involved with police using a bullhorn, asking that man to come out. And finally, police used a cell phone to contact the suspect.
The suspect came out, the female that was inside of the apartment came out, and the juvenile male that was inside of the apartment came out. Nobody was harmed and nobody was hurt.
As we told you, he came out at about 10:30. In addition to the woman and the teenage boy. Initially, police told us that there were no injuries, but later that was amended. The woman in this incident did have some injuries, and because of those injuries, the man will be charged with domestic violence. Now, there are a number of people who live in this building who were not able to enter the building because of this police standoff, but we're told that they will be able to return home as soon as the SWAT team here clears the scene. We're live tonight from University City. I'm Sasha Fu, KUSI News.
All right, Sasha, thank you. And when you see the aftermath of this head-on collision we're about to show you in Rancho Santa Fe, you might wonder how anyone survived. The CHP says 2 pickup trucks crashed shortly after 5 o'clock in the 5800 block of El Monte Video. Both drivers were taken to Scripps La Jolla with serious injuries, one of them taken by helicopter. A third person involved chose not to go to the hospital. CHP officers say so far they aren't sure what caused this crash. And a rollover accident made a slow ride home for some San Diegans tonight. The crash happened shortly after 4:30 on the 94 East near the 125. It shut down multiple lanes. 3 people were injured in the crash and taken to the hospital.
A San Marcos family held a vigil for the mother killed on Coles Mountain last week. Police say Rockio Lemon was crossing Navajo Road when 38-year-old Joshua Daniel Taylor ran a red light and hit her in the crosswalk. Alcohol is believed to be a factor. Now, we spoke with the victim's husband, who just celebrated their 20th anniversary.
She always put her kids first, me second, and it was awesome because, you know, the kids first, you're second. She always would tell me that. And yeah, you're second, they're first, you know. But we, when we were together, we
dynamic duo.
Oh man, it was amazing, amazing. I'm really gonna miss her.
Taylor's pleading not guilty to charges of murder, vehicular manslaughter, and DUI, and he is now in jail.
In Lemon Grove, a suspected car thief led deputies on a chase. Deputies say they saw the man stealing a car in Lakeside today and chased him along State Route 67. It ended at a Home Depot in Lemon Grove. The driver ignored orders to get out of the stolen car, so police sent in a canine. The driver finally surrendered. He's in jail, booked on suspicion of auto theft and running from law enforcement.
4 sailors were caught parachuting off the Coronado Bridge last night. A San Diego police officer was driving on the bridge when he saw the men jumping into the water 200 feet below. Well, they were then picked up by a getaway boat waiting down below in the bay. The jumpers were caught and then they were released. It's still not clear if they'll face any charges or additional punishment from the Navy.
Last night, the officer that was handling the incident wasn't confident with the section that was most appropriate, and I think did the right thing in letting some legal input come in to the picture, and you know, at this point, some follow-up investigation will allow us to find the most appropriate section, and we can move forward from there.
In other words, an investigation is still pending. No one was hurt, though, during this dangerous stunt.
Well, more and more people arrested in San Diego are found to be using heroin. That's according to a new study released by the San Diego Association of Governments. It says 15% of women and 13% of men arrested in San Diego last year tested positive for the drug. The study also found heroin overdose deaths shot up nearly 18% from 2009 to 2013. Earlier this week, the White House announced a $5 million initiative to stop heroin use and trafficking. A City Heights pilot program offering youth offenders an alternative to the traditional juvenile system is working. That's according to law enforcement leaders who held a press conference on the topic today. The program has a long name, the City Heights Restorative Community Conference Pilot Program. It takes youth offenders and puts them face to face with their victims. Together, they work out a plan designed to repair the harm done. That might include community service or getting involved in after-school activities. One victim says she decided to join the program after a 17-year-old boy stole her purse on the trolley.
It's about the kids. I know they're young, dumb, stupid kids. They act impulsively. You're there to help them. And that was my goal, to go through and help them, help him. If it could help him turn his life around, you know, maybe he wouldn't succeed, but you have to try.
Through July, the program has received nearly 50 referrals.
A Navy submarine is on its way home tonight. It arrives at Naval Base Point Loma tomorrow. The USS Albuquerque is a Los Angeles-class fast attack submarine. And this was its last deployment here. It will head next to Washington State in October for decommissioning. According to the U.S. Navy League, the USS Albuquerque visited over 18 countries in its 33 years of service. KUSI will be there tomorrow for the welcome home.
Exciting. San Diego area Congressman Duncan D. Hunter is fighting to have an Army Green Beret reinstated. Sergeant First Class Charles Martland is being discharged from the Army because while on his second tour in duty in Afghanistan, he hit an Afghan police commander. That commander was accused of raping a young boy and then beating the boy's mother when she reported it. Martland has been in the Army for 11 years and was awarded the Bronze Star with Valor. Congressman Hunter is asking Defense Secretary Ashton Carter to review the case. In a statement tonight, Hunter says, "It's sad to think that a child rapist is put above one of our elite military operators. Confronting an Afghan police commander, or anyone for that matter, for attacking a child and a mother is something others would surely have done too. The Army should stand up for what's right and should not side with a corrupt Afghan police officer." We will keep following the story at KUSI. And now some good news for the military. They went through weeks of intense physical training.
All right, now 2 women soldiers are making history. Captain Kristen Greist and First Lieutenant Shay Haver are graduating tomorrow from the Army's Elite Ranger School. The 2 spoke about their experience during a press event at Fort Benning, Georgia.
I would say that it's definitely awesome to be part of the history of a Ranger School in general. So graduating with these guys next to me and the 90 plus other Ranger students that will graduate tomorrow probably will be one of the highlights of my life.
I do hope that with our performance in Ranger School, we've been able to inform that decision as to what they can expect from women in the military, that we can handle things physically and mentally on the same level as men.
The Pentagon is expected to make a final decision about the role of women in combat later this year.
All right, well, let's send it over to meteorologist Mark Mathis for a look at our weather outside. Hi, Mark.
Hello there. Yes, what a fantastic day and good for them. Congratulations. 67 is the current temperature in Poway. 68 in Escondido. 70 El Cajon. 72 in San Diego. 70 in Chula Vista and 70 in Carlsbad. 69 in Del Mar. Now, dew point levels creeping up there tonight. We're in the 60s. So as our dew point levels increase, so do our humidity levels as well. But the moisture coming from a different location, so we have the cool conditions around. All right, how long did they stick around? We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. Ross?
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Well, the ISIS terrorists tonight are claiming responsibility for another attack. Coming up on the KUSI News at 11. This time, it is an explosion in Egypt, and the ISIS fighters are saying they did it.
And if you thought the last GOP presidential debate was a circus, wait until you see the new edited version, including Ben Carson's Weenie song.
What?
We'll be right back to explain.
And here at 12 minutes after 11, we are getting information on some breaking news from the Los Angeles area. This is what is being called a significant underground explosion in a high-rise, a 19-story high-rise at the corner of Flower and Wilshire. This is in the Mid-Wilshire district in Los Angeles. 5 civilians have been injured in this. Some kind of generator possibly exploded underground. Something that this has affected is a Shania Twain concert at the Staples Center. Apparently, they lost power during that concert. Again, this is a significant underground explosion in the Los Angeles area on Wilshire Boulevard, Wilshire and Flower, in a 19-story high-rise. We'll continue to follow this breaking story for you both tonight and tomorrow morning.
ISIS is now claiming responsibility for a terrorist attack in Cairo. 29 people were injured when a car bomb went off near the National Security Building. ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack on Twitter. It essentially said it was payback for the execution of 6 of its members earlier this year. Well, the battle is getting rougher in the Republican race for the White House. Jeb Bush is now firing back at Donald Trump after a series of verbal jabs. Earlier this week, Trump said Bush was not electable and is a, quote, low-energy person. In fact, one woman dozed off at Bush's town hall meeting today. Even his supporters say they're concerned about his lack of energy.
He basically is just flat. He has no energy. Out of all of the Republican candidates, he's the one that I feel safest with. He would be the one that has the most experience.
New poll numbers show Bush is struggling even in his home state of Florida, where he served 2 terms as governor. He also trails Trump in Iowa, Pennsylvania, and New Hampshire.
And Bush isn't backing down from his usage of the phrase anchor babies. The presidential hopeful pushed back against reporters in New Hampshire today. Now, they asked him if he thought the term referring to American-born children of illegal immigrants was offensive.
Governor, do you regret using the term anchor babies yesterday on the radio?
No, I didn't. I don't regret it.
You don't regret it?
No, do you have a better term?
I'm not. I'm asking you.
Okay.
A lot of folks
you give me a better term and I'll use it. I'm serious.
Governor, all right.
Don't yell at me behind my ear, though.
Sorry about that.
Jeez.
Language anchor baby. Is that not bombastic?
No, it isn't. Give me another word.
In the U.S.
That's like a 7. That's not another word. That's a 7. Look, here's the deal. What I said was it's commonly referred to that. That's what I said. I didn't use it as my own language. What we ought to do is protect the 14th. You want to get to the policy for a second? I think that people born in this country ought to be American citizens.
Democratic rival Hillary Clinton fired back today, tweeting as far as which words to use. How about babies, children, or American citizens?
A federal judge ordered the State Department to find information on Hillary Clinton's private email server today. The State Department says it is already searching for records related to a top Clinton aide. Clinton directed her aides to turn over the server to the FBI last week. The server was wiped clean earlier this year, so it's unclear how much information will be retrieved beyond the emails Clinton already handed over. And amid all the controversy, there's a video surfacing on YouTube about the candidates that has millions of views.
You have to have a sense of humor about this. This is actually the first Republican debate a few weeks ago. Well, sort of. Take a listen.
And now, Dr. Carson.
Not ready. Oh, here we go. I see one with a wee wee, yeah. Every mouse has a weenie. And if we could catch a little mouse man, then we could see some little feet too.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing is, I mean, they go through all of the candidates.
All the candidates,
and each
yeah,
one of them has
Carson,
something silly, but they made him sing, which we had to show you the singing
Kind
part.
of like Kimmel's unnecessary censorship.
Yes. Yeah, they put words in their mouth, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Oh,
All right,
well.
what's the weather going to be like, Mark?
Good. It's going to be good, at least through Saturday. We got the company picnic on Saturday.
Yeah,
Are y'all going?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it the food free?
Yes.
Well, then I might be there.
I just told Joe I'm going to go because I want to hang out with the barbecue caterers.
Oh, yeah.
I want to work with them on the weekends. I'm not kidding.
He's not.
I'm really not.
He's
I
not
really,
kidding.
really want to be a barbecue caterer.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. All right, here we go. Here's what it looks like outside. It looks like we're in store for kind of an onshore flow, and this is going to bring in the cooler moisture. It's going to drop the temperatures a little bit, and it was a hot day in the southwest or southeast today. 106 Phoenix, 83 Flagstaff, 107 in Yuma, 106 in Las Vegas. All right, here we go. The onshore flow, the marine layer is going to thicken up. It's going to be almost exactly where it was this morning, and it's going to go away almost exactly at the same time. And we're going to have temperatures reflect that again tomorrow. 70s tonight, 70 in El Cajon, 67 Poway, 68 in Escondido, 60s for the dew point temperatures. And our relative humidities reflect the increased moisture in the atmosphere. Okay, here is what it looks like as far as our current temperature outside. It is 72. Winds are variable. Humidity at 71%. The high today, 75. 2 degrees cooler than our 30-year average. And the rest of the nation, showers and thunderstorms in southeast Texas. Have almost 2 inches of rain through parts of Houston and Beaumont and Port Arthur. Heavy rainfall through parts of Pennsylvania. That's what caused the game with Sweetwater, the Little League World Series, to be delayed and played tomorrow. But they're going to have great conditions in the Northeast tomorrow. All right, cold conditions in the Pacific Northwest this weekend, and then some haze in the Pacific Northwest due to the fires. And this is Hurricane Danny. Not going to be a hurricane much longer. It looks like it's going to be downgraded from a Cat 1 to a tropical storm by the end of the weekend. Here's your forecast. We're going to have highs in the 70s. 80s by Monday, and then in the inland areas 80s and then 90s Monday and Tuesday, and then in the mountains highs are going to be in the 80s and 70s, and then in the deserts highs are going to be in the hundreds. I either want to do barbecue or have a hamburger place. I call it Big Mark's.
Big Mark's.
He's been talking about having a restaurant.
Really?
I just don't even, yeah.
Barbecue.
I know.
Would you come eat?
Heck yeah.
I'll get a cheesy burger.
Sign me up.
All right.
I want a
All right.
pulled
Whatever.
pork something.
You hungry?
I'm very.
I will never eat there. Coming up in sports, Monday Night Football on Thursday, and the Bolts set to break camp. It's going to be a gas next.
Got Eric Olson in there at center for him. Manziel climbs the pocket, throwing end zone, touchdown.
That's what I wanted to see Manziel do, Mike. Make plays in the pocket. That time, out of an I formation, it's a play-action pass. He steps up and throws a strike to give Cleveland the lead in the fourth quarter.
Johnny Football trying to make amends for that season 1 bust in Cleveland. Tossing that touchdown pass to Shane Wynn certainly will help the healing process, though Cleveland is still Cleveland as they fall to the Bills 11-10. One other quarterback note. Does this look familiar? Quarterback Robert Griffith III on the field, apparently injured. He was getting hit a lot in tonight's exhibition game. RG would suffer concussion and what they are calling a shoulder stinger. Melvin Gordon participating in all individual drills and first portion of team drills on Thursday. The back claiming Yeah, he's ready to play Saturday, and quite the contrary to the reports we had on Wednesday. Another first-round pick, Jason Verrett, working indies before retreating to the training room with Denzel Perryman and Stevie Williams. The injured stay silent. Coach McCoy stays coy.
I love the effort. You know, this is where you build the toughest of your football team, the physical part of your football team. You got me, I got him earlier, so payback. Remember, though, you know, we're going to look at what's the best interest of some players, and we'll hold some guys out that normally would play. But that's my job and the staff's job to make sure that we get everybody ready. And
he's your first-round pick, though, so you want to make sure that he's healthy beginning of the season.
Well, the health's the number one thing in the whole entire football team, not just him. So it's not a one-man team. We're working on our whole entire football team, and it doesn't matter how you got here. We're looking to get all 53 healthy for the opener.
A return to University of Phoenix Stadium will be a happy one for Jerry Atalchu. You'll recall last year in the Monday Nighter, he had his coming out party. That's when we knew he was going to be a player. Block, punt, sack, and forced fumble. Now the second-round pick out of Georgia Tech was a full-time starter and a defensive leader.
Definitely the atmosphere. That was my first game, regular season game in the NFL. So definitely excited about the atmosphere. Is going to mean a lot to me. I think I've developed a lot, you know, just as far as knowing my assignments and working with the other 10 guys on the field, and being myself within the defense. I think that's the biggest thing. I came in and I was just a piece last year, and now it's just being myself in every aspect of the defense.
You don't have to be a meteorologist to realize that image right there is rain. Lots of it washed out the South Bay Bombers in their attempt to open pool play in Williamsport, PA. They will try again Friday, 11 a.m. We'll have the highlights. You can watch it on ESPN. We are 8 days away from season 17 of the Prep Picks Report. Make sure you tune in August 28th and witness all the madness. Now, a piece of video that you've probably seen. This was Marco Rubio playing catch at the Iowa State Fair, knocking that kid on the head. It went viral. The kid decided to respond with this.
Hey, Rubio, do you get back to Iowa? I'll be ready for you, Rubio.
After that statement, he went to the saloon with his mom, and maybe he won't even remember who Mark Rubio is. No, that's not the same kid.
Not the same kid.
But I hope that kid survived.
Yeah.
I think
it wouldn't be funny if he didn't.
No, really.
Poor
All right.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, more personal details released in the Ashley Madison cheating website hack. Next on the KUSI News at 11. More on the leak and who else was on that list.
You're watching the KUSI News at 11.
Well, it looks like the Ashley Madison hackers aren't done releasing data. Another set of data is now posted on the same dark website that hosted the original release. The new data release is about 20 gigabytes, about double the original leak. While the website claims to promote discretion, hackers broke into the system and unmasked the millions of wannabe cheaters using the website. We're learning today that the list includes Louisiana GOP Executive Director Jason Dorr. Dorr says he was using the website for, quote, opposition research.
All right, now let's just stop. Take a look at your TV right now. You're watching, but is it watching you? A California lawmaker says maybe it is, and he wants it to stop. Now, Samsung has a new smart TV that can record your home conversations without you knowing it. Really? And other smart TVs will soon be able to do the same thing. So, State Assemblyman Mike Gatto wants it stopped. Samsung has changed its TV settings, so now you have to approve the recording. But Gatto says it's not enough. He says it's TV spying. So, Assembly Bill 1116 specifically prohibits companies from making TVs that can secretly record the goings-on inside your home. It is just bizarre that they can do that.
And creepy.
Yes.
Well, as many as 12 million American school children get lice, and now there's the potential nuisance of super lice. A study found 95% of lice populations collected from 30 states tested positive for a mutation-resistant to common over-the-counter treatments. And doctors are also seeing more teens and adults coming in with lice. Some are pointing to selfies contributing to the spread. Doctors say it only takes a second of putting heads together for a photo that can spread the bugs. If the lice won't die or they come back, doctors can prescribe a stronger shampoo. And they say don't try to prevent lice by treating if it's not necessary. that's contributing to the problem.
Selfies, all right.
Yeah.
Another problem with them.
Check the other person's hair.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. Well, if you want to show your support for the Sweetwater Valley Little League, you're not alone. Merchandise for the team was quickly selling today in Chula Vista and Bonita. Of course, the team plays in the Little League World Series Finals starting tomorrow.
Fans gathered to buy T-shirts and hats bearing the team name. The Little League was able to make as much as $400 in less than 5 minutes.
Well, unfortunately, we had to change from a viewing party and selling some merchandise to just selling merchandise because the game got rescheduled due to rain.
Well, it still looks like you're having a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. We're surprised. We're expecting some people, but this is a little bit more than we expected. We also have another site doing the exact same thing, not too far away. Okay. And they're just as busy too, so it's great.
100% of the proceeds go to the families of the All-Stars, and we wish them so much luck when the weather clears up.
And tomorrow, good luck.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good Morning San Diego begins at 5 tomorrow morning.
You have a great Friday. Good night, San Diego.